Hey, what is up, guys? It is Seal, and today we're going to be doing an Evolve support tier list. This is the third one in the series. Now, you might be thinking, Seal, why does Tech Sergeant Hank look so weird? And what I have to say about that is, don't worry about it, okay? First image did not work. It happens sometimes, but look, we have Tech Sergeant Hank, alright? But first off, we're going to start off with regular Hank. And in my opinion, he's going to go into A tier. I think all the original hunters are going to go into A tier because they're just good. They're just good. They're not overpowered. They're balanced. They're nice, balanced characters. Hank in general, though, is very good. He's one of the best. Not one of the. Well, okay. He's one of the best supports. We're gonna move him up to A tier. How about that? Or not A tier, but S tier. There we go. Hank is S tier support. He shields hunters. He can invis himself. He has a very high damaging orbital barrage that knocks him and other hunters, which give them a speed boost or can get them out of trouble, give a lot of damage to the monster. He has the shield and the laser cutter. The laser cutter does a fair bit of damage, and he helps hunters a lot, especially with Slim, Val, any medic that is good at healing. Hank will always be there to be annoying and shield very well. Next up, we have Tech Sergeant Hank. This is going to be a hard decision, but we're going to put him in B tier. Tech Sergeant Hank, not as good as regular Hank. His orbital is definitely better than OG Hank's orbital, but because it follows the monster instead of actually just staying in one place, and I'm pretty sure does more damage, or at least more consistent damage. But it follows the monster slowly, so a lot of times the monster can just run out of the orbital. His shields they go on over time, and you have to remember to actually put on shields on other hunters. He can be very devastating against monsters such as Meteor Goliath that don't have much damage. He can just keep constantly re-shielding. But he's basically Hank, but just a little bit worse. But he's still a good hunter. In Legacy, at least. In Stage 2, that's a different story. Next up, we have Bucket. We're going to put him into C tier. Bucket, actually no, we're going to put him in A tier. Not C tier. Bucket has no shields. He has a lot of damage, but he has a camera to find the monster. He stands still in place. A lot of people don't use it because it's the trapper's job to find the monster, not the supports. The only thing that Bucket has going for him is damage, a lot of damage, but he doesn't give a damage boost. He doesn't remove armor. He just damages, and that's the entire point of Bucket. A lot of people take the damage perk on Bucket because that's really all he's used for. I can't really say anything else. Like, you can track the monster with his head, but he's just standing still like a rock, and by the time you find a monster, your hunter teammates will probably be already at least 100 meters away from your character. Next up, we have Cabot, my personal favorite. We're going to put him in A tier. He's not S tier because he doesn't have great survivability. If the monster focuses Cabot down, he can go down very easily. But he has the damage amplifier, which can give a lot of damage to the monster, especially if you're playing with a Torvald or a Hyde or Markov with his mines. He can amp that damage and make it insane. You can just see the monster's health bar go white. It's very satisfying to play Cabot, one of the most fun hunters ever. He can spot monsters with his dust tag, which has a very big radius, and it lets you see monsters through walls for like 15 seconds or something like that. He can shoot through walls, so he can prevent monsters from eating if they go behind cover, especially behemoths, which is annoying. He's very good with anybody, and he's very great in damage comp. Next up we have not Kala but Sunny. Sunny's gonna go into A tier with Cabot. She's not S tier because her shield drone is a problem a lot of times. It doesn't shield the correct person. It usually tries to shield who is being damaged at the moment, which is a problem with Meteor Goliath or any monster that can apply dot damage, such as not just dot damage, but dot damage to multiple people. So the shield drone will just spaz out spastically. It's mostly a problem with Meteor Goliath, but the shield drone can also be taken out but infinitely replaced. She has a jetpack booster where she can boost hunters. It's very good when used on the assault or the trapper, especially with Griffin. She's very good in chase comps. Her shield drone works most of the time, but when it doesn't, that's what really hurts her. But it doesn't make her any worse of a hunter. She's definitely A tier, but Hank would always be the better choice. And then we have Kala, and of course she's in D tier. Everybody who's watching this video knows that Kala is in D tier. There's no doubt about it. Everybody would agree with me. I don't know how you wouldn't put Kala in D tier. She has a good set of abilities, but she doesn't have damage. Okay, she can teleport. Cool. She teleports in front of the monster and then gets snuck pounced. Her Banshee missiles barely do any damage unless you stick them to a wall. Or not Banshee missiles, but Banshee mines. Her armor reducer does something. Like, it usually doesn't touch the monster too badly. The only thing that Kala's good at is running away from the monster once all her teammates die, because she doesn't have any damage or shielding. The only thing Kala's good at is running, and she can work very well with Lazarus and just run for the entire game. Her gameplay is very boring. Her armor reducer becomes useless once the armor actually goes off. Her armor reducer is basically useless with Crow. There's not many good things you can say about Kala. She's not a good pick at all. So that's my support tier list. Sorry to end it on such a somber note, but Kala's garbage. So